Hey everybody, I'm back here with another update for the Buckeye. And as you can see, I got the wings and the horizontal stabilizers attached to it. And at this point, as far as the build goes, she's pretty much done. I also added, they're separate pieces, but right here the intakes and the sides of the exhaust back here for the jets. So I've been doing a lot of sanding on it, a lot of prep work trying to get these seam lines filled up, and I think I'm about ready to go ahead and throw a coat of primer on it. All that's really left is the canopy, and then you have the option of building this kit with the landing gear up or down, and I'm not really into building stands for them, at least not yet, so I usually build them with the landing gear down. You can see right there I got some putty work done trying to fill these lines up, so I'm a little eager, I guess, to see how my skills in filling these lines have improved. There's some nasty ones here, but I've gotten them filled up what I think at least is pretty well. So my plans for now are to get it coated, all of it, in a coat of gray primer. Even this cockpit stuff that I kind of screwed up before. And then I'll go back in and just brush paint that. It shouldn't be too difficult. So I'll get the primer coat on it and I'll be back in a second. Hey guys, I'm back with another update on the Buckeye build. And as you can see, she looks a lot different than the last time you saw her. I got her coated in primer after getting my putting work done. And I'm actually pretty pleased with how the putting came out. It's a lot better than my last project, the Hellcat. There's still some areas where it's not perfect, but I can see a considerable improvement than on my last kit. I also went ahead and tried to fix as much as what was going on in here as I could, and it came out pretty well. I'm sure you guys can see right in here it looks kind of crappy, but when the seat goes in it's going to cover that and you're not even going to see it, so I wasn't too concerned about making that putty look smooth and perfect. Now you can still see the seam line in here, but again with the seats it's going to be a little, if not noticeable at all. So it came out pretty good, like I say. Just got some crap on it here from what I was working on earlier, but anyways, I'm pretty pleased with it. I really, especially I like how the seam came out over here. If you guys remember, there was a good long gash that went all along there, and that's all taken out. And I also, I think for the most part, fixed the damage that went to the nose. I think what was actually happening here, I don't think that I actually pressed on it and dented it like I had thought at first. I got to thinking about it, and I used, oh, where is it? I used Ambro weld trying to glue some of the weight here in the front of the nose, and I know that's a hot glue, and I think it melted the plastic. So I think that's what happened there, because I used quite a bit of it. So anyways, now that the primer coat's on, I'm going to do pre-shading and then try it again with my white paint. As I'm sure if anyone has seen a Buckeye before, this paint plane is, excuse me, this plane is for the most part white with some orange parts here and there on it. So it's really going to give me the opportunity to try to improve a little bit on my pre-shading techniques. So what I'm going to do for pre-shading, obviously I'm going to do the control surfaces here on the wings. I'm going to do the control surfaces where these lines are here on the tail. I don't know if I'm going to try to do the corners and leading edges and things like that. I am going to do the, this is a speed brake right here on both sides that I'm going to try to do. Underneath also, you know, this panel line here I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do pre-shading around the landing gear, along these three pieces here, and then do a little bit of pre-shading around like this area, I think. And then just some other little spots where I see that I think it might look cool. So I'll get the pre-shading done on this guy, and then we'll move into paint. So let me get that pre-shading done and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Alright, and here it is with the pre-shading done on the kit before I actually end up painting it. And I'm noticing right now it's showing up pretty dark on the camera, but when you actually see it without it, or without the camera, just looking at it, it's not as dark as it looks. So I'm not too worried about that. But overall, I think the pre-shading came out okay. I decided to do some right here along the inlets, or I guess those would be the outlets, and then the inlets up here. I also did some pre-shading around the cockpit canopy, so we'll see how that turns out. I think I've seen someone do something like that once. I don't remember exactly how it turned out, but I thought I'd give it a go and see what results I ended up with. Did some work around there, around the just basically all these lines down here. So what I think I'm going to do, trying to learn from my mistakes on the Hellcat build, is go over this in very, very small, thin layers of paint. And what I think I want to do is just maybe coat this a couple times to where you can still mainly see the black, and then not even focus on that area anymore and just try to focus on these large open areas. And then maybe like a little bit here and along here. And really just not trying to coat the black up like I did before. So what I think I might do is, no, that's what I'm going to do. So the cockpit, I don't know if I showed this before, but I'm pretty pleased with how the panel lines have disappeared on the cockpit, at least right here for the two parts going together. You can still see them down there, but I'm not really concerned about that. This is a $7 model kit, so I'm more or less using it to improve what I'm doing before I start working on the more expensive ones. So what I'm going to do with this kit is coat the entire thing in a base coat of white, and then tape off the areas that I need to stay white, and then I'm going to go over it with a orange coat of paint, which will be for the nose, the wing tips, and I think part of the tail up here has it. And then I need to tape over that orange, and then there's a few parts that are going to get coated in black, which I think is just right up here, and I think on part of the wing. I think the inside of the wing tanks are black, but the outsides are orange. So anyways, I'm going to get this guy coated in a coat of white, and I'll show you what it looks like now. Hey guys, and now as you can see, I've got the first coat of white on it. And I'm very pleased. You can see the pre-shading lines. I didn't completely destroy them like I did on the Hellcat build. And you can see them there on the tail, and especially here you can see them underneath. And I really like the shading lines, the way they came up here along the wings, and just throughout the model kit, the little bit of shading that's done right here on the flaps. I like that. And along the wings up here. Now I think for the most part actually lose all my pre-shading that I did on the around the cockpit, but that's okay. Like I say, this is just a cheaper kit that is helping me kind of grow in what I'm doing. So but yeah, I'm really happy with the way that the paint came out. And again, I just did this with the airbrush using the Rust-Oleum gloss white thinned down. So now I'm going to get it taped off, and then we can go into putting the orange and black on the plane. So we'll take a look at it taped off now. Alright guys, and here it is taped off, and as you can see, I've got a lot of tape on it. I was trying maybe just to put some tape in the areas where I wanted it, but I'm a little nervous about spraying orange paint and having the rest of it look like there's freckles on it. So I went ahead and just pretty much taped everything off except the areas that I want to have. So the external fuel tanks here, This part on the wing and basically exactly the same on the bottom side are going to be orange. The nose cone here will be orange, and then the vertical stabilizer as well as parts of it underneath here will also be orange. Once that's done, I'm going to pull this tape off and then go back on and remask it for the black, and then we ought to have a pretty much completed Buckeye at that point. I'll still have to do some paint for the landing gears and the wheels, but other than that, she'll be pretty much done and ready for the decals. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say before we're done with this. I don't think there's. I think what I'm going to do at this point though is I've already made. I think this video is going to be long enough, so I'm probably going to stop this video here, and then the next time I get one posted, you'll be able to see it with the new colors on it. So I appreciate you guys watching. I hope this next part comes out okay, and you guys might actually be impressed with what it comes out to look like. So I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I will see you next time.